Hello everyone. In this tutorial, we are going to learn about variables and simple data types in Python. You will learn about the different kinds of data, learn how to store your data in variables, and how to use those variables in your programs. Let us try to use a variable. Okay, a variable holds a value. Let us name a variable called message, which will hold the value. Message is equal to, in double quotes, hello. Now let us print the variable, print the message, which is the variable. Now you can see as we run it, you can see we had the same output, hello. Now the reason we had the same output, hello, here is because this message holds the value hello. Let me say this message acts like a container which keeps this value. So when you print out this variable name, which is the message, it's going to output was whatever is inside it, which is the hello you see in the console. Now, Python works from top to down. It prints out the hello first before printing out this hello. Let me change this hello so that you will see what I'm talking about. Let me change it to Amma. Now, let me run this code again. You could see that the the hello was printed first before the Amma was printed. This is because Python works from the top to the bottom. There are some few rules to look into when naming variables, or else you'll encounter errors. You cannot start a variable with a number. For instance, one message is equal to hello. Hello. This is not acceptable. As you can see, there is a red underline zigzag, which shows that this is an error. If you want to correct this, you can change this to message one, which is okay. Spaces are not allowed in variable names. For example, message space one is equal to, in quote, hello. This is not acceptable. As you can see, we are getting an error, but rather use an underscore to separate words like this. This is okay. Avoid using Python keywords like print as variable names, or else you will encounter errors. So anytime you are naming a variable, make sure you follow these rules to avoid errors. The first data type we'll look at is a string. Anything inside quotes is considered a string in Python, and you can use a single or double quotes around strings like this. So single quote this, or double quote this. All this is considered as a string. You can also change the case of the words in a string with methods. There are several useful methods available for dealing with case as well. For example, you can, let's say we want to change the name of Amma, Nana Amma, into all capital letters. So we could achieve this by printing out the variable name, which is nanama dot upper. I intentionally made nanama all lowercase because I want you guys to see the effect of the dot upper here. So when we run it, you could see that nanama is in all caps. Now, the reason why the number here in the console is in all caps is because of this dot upper. This dot upper is a method. It performs an action on a piece of data, which is the nanama over here. To achieve this, the name, which is the variable name, dot upper, will have effect on the value here, which is nana ama. So this will make it all capital letters. You can achieve this with lowercase as well. Then let's try this with a lowercase and see the difference as well. Name is equal to, I'm going to name this Nanama all caps. Okay, so Nana Ama print name dot lower. I want you guys to see the effect of what I'm about to do here. So when I run this code, you can see the difference. Nana Ama, which is the first line 13, is in all caps because of the dot upper. And then line 16, which is Nanama, which is in all caps, is in all lowercase because of this dot lower method here. We are having fun here. Let us add another method again. There are several useful methods, to do this. Let's add another method. Let's say name is equal to Nana Ama. Let's print out the variable name, which is name. Now let's add this method dot title. Let's see what this will do. Let's run it and see. So when you run this, you could see that the effect here is that the dot title here is making the first word here capital. Can you see it? Yeah. Here to capital A. Yeah. This is one fun thing about, methods. Now you can concatenate or combine strings. Okay, so let's say we want to concatenate the first and the last name, okay, of someone. So the first name is equal to Anna, okay, and then the last name is equal to Ama, okay. So the full name be equal to the first name plus the last name, okay. So we print out the full name, okay, then we run it. As you can see in the console, we have Nana Ama. So Nana is the first name, and then Ama is the second, the last name. So when you forget to put out a space here and you run it, I want you guys to see the effect. And you run it, you could see that the first name and the last name has combined. So you wouldn't know the difference between the first name and then the last name. Okay, so remember to pull out space here to separate, to put space in your words. Okay, the plus symbol here is used to combine or concatenate strings. Okay, let me bring the console down here a little bit so that you guys could view the screen well. Now let's move into avoiding syntax errors with strings. Okay, syntax errors occurs when the code you have written doesn't follow to the rules of Python language. Okay, for example, message equal to single quote, Nanes, apostrophe, favorite language is Python, end of single quotes. You can see we are already encountering an error here. Let's print out a message, okay, and see what error we are getting here. So when I run this, you can see this is a syntax error. This is a syntax error because if you use an apostrophe within single quotes, you produce an error. This happens because Python interprets everything between the first single quotes and the apostrophe as a string. It then tries to interpret the rest of the text as Python code, which causes errors. So when you use single quotes, Python doesn't even know where to end, if it's here or here. So, however, to correct this, you can use the double quote here. This will work perfectly. So when you run this, you can see we have it here. Nana's favorite language is Python. If you look closely, you will see that the apostrophe here appears inside a set of double quotes. So the Python interpreter has no trouble reading the string correctly. In Python, you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide integers. For example, let's print 2 plus 3. Print 2 plus 3 and run it. You could see our output is 5. Let's try 3 minus 2. Let's print out 3 minus 2 and run it. 1. Let's also try 2. Let's print out 2 times 3 and see what happens here. 6. Very good. Multiplication. Let's also try to divide 3 / 2. Run it. You could see we have 1.5. Python calls any number with a decimal point a float. Okay, so let's say, for example, let's print out 0.1 plus 0.1. Okay, and run it. We have 0.2. This is considered a float. Anything with a decimal point is considered a float in Python. Okay, we use the asterisk as a multiplication symbol, and then the / as a division symbol in Python. Python uses 2 multiplication symbols to represent exponents like this. So let's print out 3 exponent 2 and run it. You will see we had 9. Let's also try 3 exponents 3 and run it. 27. Python supports the order of operations to board mass, which is bracket of division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So let's say, for example, we have two, let's print out, okay, 2 plus 3 times 4, okay, and run it. We are gonna get 14 because it follows the order of operation here, which it multiplies it 3 times 4 before adding a 2, which we have 14 over here. You can also use parentheses to change the order of operations too. Let's say, for example, we want to change the order of operation here. So let's say in bracket 2 plus 3 and then times 4. Let's run this and see what we have here. We're gonna get 20 because it adds 2 plus 3 before multiplying it by 4, which we have 20 here. Let's say you want to tell someone your age. You might write code like this. Age is equal to, let's say your age is 22. Message is equal to I am age plus yes old. Let's print out the message. Let's print out the message and run it. Oops, we had an error. That is a type error. It means Python can't recognize the kind of information you are using. When you use integers within strings, you need to specify explicitly that you want Python to use the integer as a string of characters. You can do this by wrapping the variable in the str function like this, which is a string function. Okay, like this. Python now knows that you want to convert the numerical value 22 to a string and display the characters test2 and 2 as part of the message. So let's run this and see. So now you can see it's working. I am 22 years old. Now, why do we have this green text over here? Okay, in Python, the hash symbol indicates a comment. Okay, so what we have here is a comment. Anything following a hash mark in your code is ignored by Python interpreter. The main reason to write comments is to explain what your code is supposed to do and how you are making it work. So let's write a little bit of comment in our code. So let's start from the beginning. Let's comment this as variables. Okay. Let's also comment this as strings. Okay. Let's comment this as single quote. Okay. Let's comment this as double quote. Okay. We can also highlight our text. Okay, like this. So let's highlight this. Okay. So let's highlight it all the way down to this place. And then select control and then forward slash. This is going to comment the whole of the code. The whole of this. Okay. So all of this is ignored in Python. Okay. Because it's a comment. So when we run our code, this is going to run. Okay, so when we run it, you can see that this is round here. So it has ignored all of this and focus on this rather, because this is not in a comment. Okay.